Hi guys, and I am starting the what is it called? Um, Stanley Parable Ultimate Deluxe. I have not played this, and I don't really know what it's about. So, we'll we'll see what it's about really. Oh, okay, so it's just 5:04 p.m. Yes, I don't know what it's about really. My sister who knows about it did try and explain it, but I don't know what she was going on about really. So let's get started. You've actually set in the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock in. I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favourite time. Even if it's not the correct time. Wonder if that will actually happen next time. Because I went to go play this and I did set the time and then I ended up not playing it. So, oh, it's doing that on the computer. Oh, never the end is.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Look, I've always said that I would love a
And then one
cubicle
day,
job.
something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
See, that's where it went wrong. He got up and got out of his office. Yeah, I've always said that like my dream job would probably be to have like an office and a cubicle and do the same things over and over again. Don't know why. I just think I'd really like it. Okay. Can we see anything? Touch anything? No. Okay. Well, that's not the time I put in, so. If I couldn't
All
get
of
a
his
hold of anyone,
co-workers were
I'd probably just
gone.
go home.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
431 to 436. I wouldn't like to be one of these desks, though.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Where is this meeting room? There, I'm assuming. Looks like most people may have left in a hurry, considering all the paper that's scattered.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, let's go find this meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now, am I meant to follow the voiceover? Or, like, what happens if I ignore it?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Oh no.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, I think I might just follow the voices. Oh,
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
really?
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It's quite a nice room. Set up a table with like a TV or something.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay. I'm gonna...
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, but what's that? Oh! I know I said I was gonna listen to the voice, but...
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Left?
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
It reminds you of...
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
It's very,
Now, let's see, we went
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Left, down, left, right.
Cross between,
Yep,
like...
yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This
Most
story
movies
is
that break the
absolutely,
fourth wall.
definitely this way.
Fourth wall. Someone in there? Really wish I just went through the door now. Ooh! Oh no.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
That person got fired.
I'm kidding. It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh. Okay. Alright. What happens if you keep disobeying the voice,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Right. Let's go through here. Now it's feeling very back rooms. Oh, I should have just gone through the door it's told me to. Why must I get curious and not listen? I have no
I'll say it.
clue.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. Touch everything. Nothing's there. Has something changed?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You can't jump. I don't know what I've done to get that trophy, but okay. Oh no. It hasn't worked. Oh, why couldn't I have just gone into the door on the left?
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Can't tell if that was there or not. Didn't actually pay all that much attention, which probably is a bad thing. Don't mind me, I'm just rambling. Everyone?
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Nope, it's gotten worse.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Right, I'm going to listen to it this time. Because I definitely regret... That door wasn't even open.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yes, please. Yeah, don't know how I feel about that music. Right, this voiceover, I need a name him. What should I name him? Just call him Author. And you. Monthly Wedges. All very official looking.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. I'm going to take a picture of it then. Oh, I can't take a screenshot. You know what? I'll take a picture with my phone. Because my memory is shot. Absolutely shot. I've got a terrible memory. It's like a goldfish, really. I don't even remember really what I did yesterday. Right. Onwards.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
I'm back here again.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
All employees still fired. Alright. Time hasn't really changed. I don't quite get what this game is about, though.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right?
Get lost.
Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
What just opened? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Can we just...
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
As long as it's not horror, because I'm terrible at horror games.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Alright. I really need to name you voiceover because I feel like you need a name. But David, like David Attenborough, because you're kind of having that feel. Yep, okay. Officially, your name is David until I get told otherwise.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
All right, David.
Oh, hold up. What's this?
You've been playing the confusion ending for 18
You're
minutes.
telling me
Have I?
that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? Yeah. And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Deviate from maintenance room,
really
end up in
how all
monitor.
this goes?
Restart.
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
No, Ray, the forgets previous restarts.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
That is a crap ending.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Apparently no.
So
you just disappeared, David. Okay. And then Stanley dies.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
I really don't want that.
That's where we are
right now. To start.
We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. Now I said this was like a dream job. I think I changed my mind. Oh no.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm still in the confusion. The confusion ending. David's forgotten. It's probably like the 5th restart, so I'm like 3 more restarts.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. I don't know if we're still on the confusion ending though. If the screen goes black, we are.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ooh, there's an office party. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Please keep the targets on the topic of... Trying to see if there's anything, but it doesn't look like it. Chris, are you in the broom closet?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yep, Explain what happens when...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, fancy. Very
Stepping into his
fancy.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Wait, am I meant to enter it? Or not, because I'm not meant to know it?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Is this going to be like a Truman Show? It's kind of creepy. I was definitely not joking. When I said that I don't like horror games. Or at least I don't like playing horror games.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This
You know
question
what?
would not go unanswered for long.
It's kind of like, what's that new show? The new season only just recently came out. Severance. It's reminding me of Severance.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Yep.
that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Oh, I regretted it not listening last time. You know what? Let's escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? No.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Guess I'm getting mind controlled.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, we know that it's the monitoring room.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What number are we? 426 or something.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright.
Blackness.
Is that it?
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Stanley tried to step
Stanley
through
felt
the
the
open
cool
door.
breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. Okay. So I'm assuming that you just go and do different things to get different endings. And going different ways produces different results.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. Well, I'm going to leave it there. If you'd like me to continue playing Stanley, and just
no
going
matter
through
how hard Stanley looked,
different
he couldn't
things,
find a trace of his co-workers.
Just comment down below, and I might start a new series on this, if it gets enough people wanting it. I don't know about it. I really don't know about this game. I'd have to play it a bit more, but it seems pretty interesting. Very Truman, cross Severance, cross just a whole bunch of other games and novels and stuff that I've read. But yeah, so I'll leave it here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below if you'd like this to be a regular game. as long along with my story of seasons, Pioneers of Olive and yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.